Anthony?
Have you guys decided on a date yet to insert that sixth starter?
Yeah, it's going to be game 1 versus LA. Blackburn will pitch on Monday. And then everybody will fall in line there.
Dan?
How has Nimmo looked to you since he came back from the stiff neck? He's got a couple more hits. You know, he had that kind of rough patch before he got injured. Have you seen something different about his approach, or just a couple good days?
Yeah, I feel like he's been hitting the ball hard, for the most part. And we saw it yesterday. I think he was 103 up the middle. We're running at second base in 2 outs, going the other way, pulling the ball. I just feel like he's been, your typical Brandon Nimmo. So hitting the ball hard, using the whole field. So as far as like the neck and all that goes, he's fine. But I haven't seen anything differently from him.
Roger?
Blackburn hasn't been in a major league game in 10 months. And while he's had some extensive work in the minor leagues, do you think that moment can feel big, like the kind of thing that you need to talk to a guy about because it's been so long?
Not really, because he's been in this league for a long time now. He knows what it takes. This is not a situation where you're calling up a rookie, or a guy that's been up and down. He's been in this league for quite a bit now and had some success. He knows what's at stake. He's going to be facing a good lineup, and he's ready. He feels good, feels healthy. He's been throwing the ball well. But as far as the competition and all that, he's been there before. So,
Manny?
We never checked in on Manaea. How did his live go, and just what are the next steps for him?
Yeah, it went well. He's got another one. I think it's on Monday here. It'll be an up and down live VP. So the last time was just one time up, through almost 20 pitches. Now he's gonna go where he goes 2 innings, basically facing batters.
Dan?
And then just with Manaea, then a rehab after that, maybe?
We'll see. Maybe another live VP, or we'll have a decision there.
And we asked Stearns yesterday about Maurizio. I know your focus is here, but what are the reports you're getting on him, and how intriguing is he down there, given what he's doing?
Yeah, we're watching. But the reports are really good, actually. Not so much about the results. It's just how he's moving. The way he's running around the bases, moving in the infield, first step, going after baseballs, recovering well. And we've seen the results from the offensive side where he's impacting the baseball, from both sides of the plate. So good player. We will continue to watch him. But right now, we want him to continue to get everyday reps. So pretty sure we're going to get to a point where he's going to force us here. But in the meantime, just let him play.
Anybody else? Andrew?
What's the next step for Frankie Montas?
Tuesday, I think he's pitching again. We're not sure. We're looking at monitoring the weather to see where's that going to be. But I think it's Tuesday that he's got his next rehab assignment.
Just overall, I know Mark homered a few days ago, but what have you just thought about, him offensively, just not producing to the level that he did last year?
Yeah, I feel like he's going through it. There'll be stretches where he's hitting the ball hard consistently, but there's also stretches where he chases, maybe a little bit in between at times. That's part of the grind, part of the 162 second year in the big leagues, where people are adjusting to him, and he's got to continue to make adjustments. He's working hard. He's watching film. He's talking to the hitting coaches. He's doing extra work. He's got to keep going.
Anthony?
Just to follow up on that, what's the balance for you in terms of getting him the reps he needs in games to break out of it versus obviously like today going with Young and taking the platoon advantage there?
Yeah, well, that's when you got 13 guys that you feel good about your chances. It makes it a challenge, but there's a balance. But trying to use everyone as much as possible, keep everyone fresh. But the case of Mark, he's getting playing time. You know, like yes, maybe he plays one day, he sits the other, but he plays 3, sits 1, so he's still active. You know, so I'm not worried about that at all. That's part of establishing yourself here at the big league level. Everybody goes through it, and he's going through it right now, where he's got to learn. Where it's like, hey man, you're probably going to play a couple of games. You're probably going to sit one, and everyone is going through it, I guess. You know, because again, we got 13 really good players.
All right. Thank you very much, Carlos.